just think about what you're doing for now, innit? Because everything you do will catch up with you, you know? You think just because you're having sex with Brad and John and Peter, like, people forget. They don't forget, man. The streets don't forget, man.
Single.
Taken.
I'm single, innit?
I'm married to the game. No, I'm single.
Single.
Single. I don't know, I feel like to an extent, if you're reaching, you know, them big numbers, it's a bit of a problem.
Body count doesn't really matter to me because, I don't know, I just feel like it's a silly question to ask. There's more important questions that you need to find out about your partner or whoever you're deciding to settle with, rather than body count. But that's just me anyway.
But then again, you have to take in consideration their age. Because I feel like when you're older, it's natural that you're going to have a certain amount of number. When you're younger, like let's say you're 19, your body count's 50. How are you doubling, tripling your age? It don't make sense, you know what I mean? So, yes and no.
The body count does not matter to me. It did when I was younger because I wanted to be cool and I wanted everyone to like me, and I thought that's why you needed a high body count. But as I've gotten older, I realized that means nothing, so it doesn't matter to me at all.
It doesn't really matter to me because to each their own. Like, everyone has different experiences whilst they're on Earth. So some people may have higher body counts than others. Others prefer a lower body count. Everyone has their own preference.
Yeah, body count definitely matters, man. In terms of a figure, I think any more than 2 is a bit crazy for a woman, man, you know.
Good luck to you, my friend, because that is a very rare and dying breed. So yeah, power to you, man, but yeah.
But then if you flip it and ask me, does body count matter for a guy? Theoretically, it should. But in today's society, it don't really. So I'd say the onus is more on the girl. So yeah, don't be a hoe, man.
Well, personally for me, it does matter because I believe in soul ties, and I feel like the more like body count you have, you've got a lot of souls that like you're fighting, and for me that's an issue for me. Yeah.
Grow up. Come on, man. No, I don't know. I mean, each to their own with that sort of thing. I mean, I guess there is definitely some kind of like spiritual connection, I think, with some sexual partners, but I mean, not all of them. You know, if that's what you're striving for, do you, man? But I guess, yeah. No, not at all. Again, same thing. I mean, oh yeah, I guess maybe she thought it was cool when she was younger. No, but yeah, it doesn't really mean anything to me. You know, I think everyone's got a past. do you, man? Really, yeah, it doesn't really matter to me at all.
No, not really, because there's people before me, and I'm gonna be the last person. Do you know what I mean? Like his body count doesn't matter. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Again, not really. I mean, to be honest, for me, when I was younger, I was like, I'll take what I can get. So I couldn't really afford to be picky. I didn't really think about marriage too seriously when I was younger and feeling that way as well. So yeah, I don't know, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, not really.
Yes, it does. Because if it's significant numbers like 100 and all of that stuff, I don't know about all of that stuff there, you understand? Body count doesn't really matter to me because, I don't know, I just feel like it's a silly question to ask. There's more important questions that you need to find out about your partner or whoever you're deciding to settle with, rather than body count. But that's just me anyway. Yes, it does. Because if it's significant numbers like 100 and all of that stuff, I don't know about all of that stuff there, you understand? But to some degree, it doesn't matter. To some degree, it does. That's the best answer I can give.
That's very tricky. I think it does to a certain extent. Because, I mean, I'm human at the end of the day, and there's so much I can tolerate.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that, like, when somebody else's body count is affecting you, then it's like, I think that's a you problem more than a them problem. I don't see how that affects you in any way. Like, stay in your lane. If you don't want to sleep with heaps of people, don't sleep with heaps of people. You don't want to associate with people that do sleep with a lot of people, don't do that. So yeah, it doesn't really mean anything to me.
Well, from the time he's husband, I feel like, why should it matter? Do you know what I mean? Because you already had that conversation before you decided to make him your husband. So no, it doesn't matter because that's the past.
Nope. Because she is pure. She is. I think. Hope.
Right.
I pray. Is it an issue? I've never heard anything like that. But if it is,
I think it's to do with socialization and how we've been raised up in general. Because, girls are always kept on lockdown when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, where we're very raised up to be housewives, and stuff like being promiscuous and sexually active is a taboo for women. So I get why men feel like that, but it's like, come on, it's 2020, being open about your sexuality and being promiscuous should be something that goes both ways. Like, what do they call it? Double standards.
I think we live in a generation right now where everybody's just doing whatever they want. Sex is around the corner. There's no limits to what anyone can do right now, and we're losing this thing of is the right word exclusivity or whatever you want to call it? Yeah, I just made up a word. Yeah, exclusivity. I'm gonna trademark it. But anyway, there's no sense of self-worth, not everybody can have me, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't know, I feel like guys just like something that not any guy can get me, same way girls wouldn't want a guy that any girl can access. Do you understand? So yeah, body count is an issue depending on how serious it is. That's how I feel anyway.
With this question, I just think that it has something to do with masculinity. So men want to be the alpha male. So imagine marrying someone who has a higher body count than you. It's like she's better than you in some aspects. I don't know, it's something to do with the ego. How can you marry a girl with a higher body count than you? does that mean she's like more attractive than you? Does that mean like people want her more than you? Like it just plays with a man's mind. Like men don't like it. Anything that alters their ego, they're not for it.
Yes, a lot of black guys do have an issue with a high body count, which me personally, I fail to understand exactly why, because if you have a body count as well, then there should be like double standards.
I think probably just men know what men are like, maybe. Maybe like as well a bit of pop culture instead of that sort of like fairy tale sort of thing, and you just want everything to be perfect in your own life. But I mean, life isn't really like that in the real world. So I don't know, man. Like, yeah, probably those are the reasons I would say. Pop culture.
It's something about men that I'm still trying to figure out as well. So I don't actually know why they have an issue with that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I just feel like they haven't gone out of the thinking of that it's okay for women to have different sexual partners. I think we're still thinking of the old ways, how women should only have a few and stuff like that. Yeah.
Must be a self-confidence thing then. I've never heard anything about black guys being funny about it. I think it's just a man thing in general. Like if you find out a girl you're dating, her body count is high.
I think everyone's probably the same with that, you know. I don't think it's really a massively racial thing.
I don't know. I think it just depends on you as a person and what you think you can tolerate. Like me personally, if it's more than 3, then I don't know if we go together, man. You know. But I'm not judging anyone else. Like if the next man's girl's got like 60 bodies, then I don't know. It's a bit mad for you though, isn't it?
So basically if you want to associate with people that haven't slept with a lot of people, then don't associate with those sort of people, but it's kind of like, you know, just do your own thing, stay in your own lane. It shouldn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. If it is affecting you, then it's just, that's you that's letting it affect you. So it's like, what's it got to do with you? Don't hang out with them if you don't want to.
Insecure. I don't know if that's the right word.
I mean, yeah, maybe a little insecure. I think it's maybe like, I think everyone like might have an opinion on it or like think about it a little bit, but I think if you're going to act upon that or change the way you feel about someone, then that would be insecurities coming into play with that. I mean, I guess everyone's like, nobody's like super confident. Everyone's got their own insecurities. So if that's what those insecurities are about, then, you know, that's how it comes through, I guess. That's how it comes through. We can't all be like perfectly comfortable with ourselves, such as someone like me, you know. We're not all perfect specimens like that.
For me personally, it's not my place to tell someone or my friends that, nah, you need to chill now. You know what I mean? If she wants, like, I've got a friend who's sexual, and I've tried telling her, she's like, but it's my, do you know what I mean? She's like trying to own it. Like, I'm not gonna beef with you about who you want to sleep with, how many. Do you know what I mean? It's your life. I'll tell you, but it's not like I'm gonna be your parent about it.
That is absolute truth. Yeah, a woman, you can have sex with as many people as you want.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, bro? You laugh. You can have sex with as many people as you want, yeah? But when you hit age 30 and you got no man, no house, like, don't turn around and be like, men are trash, because I hate that men are trash argument, man. Oh my goodness, man, it drives me up the wall, bro. So just think about what you're doing for now, innit? Because everything you do will catch up with you, you know? You think just because you're having sex with Brad and John and Peter, like, people forget. They don't forget, man. The streets don't forget, man. They always come back, bro.
The streets don't forget. I think it's very funny. I think more than it's funny, I think it's very true.
I don't know, actually.
I don't think, maybe some are insecure, but I don't think it's a matter of insecure all the time. I just think for guys, it's like this you feeling like, oh, this my girlfriend or this girl that I'm seeing has been with bare man. It's that idea that she's been passed around, but it's like, I don't know, there's just such a negative view of it. But then they just need to educate themselves that it's their body and it doesn't make a woman less valuable just because she's sexually free and promiscuous. But yeah, there's a lot of grey areas that people just need to educate themselves about and just stop being, weird about it, I guess.
To be honest, let's be honest, like, a woman's body count can't be as high because there's double standards. So a man can have a high body count, but a woman cannot. And simply because of that, some men are insecure. Not saying all men are, but some men are definitely going to have an issue with that. I'd like to say the majority of men, but it just would not sit well with many men with like a woman having a high body count.
I don't think it's an insecurity. I think it's just a matter of scope and how you see it. I'm a Christian, so I definitely believe in soul ties. If you've got 1,000 plus bodies on you, I don't know what kind of spirits you have. You can have the spirit of Tameside Valley in you, or I don't know what spirit, or you can have Mami Water inside you. You understand? You never know. You have to be careful these days. You can sleep with someone and tomorrow morning you wake up as fish. You understand? You have to be careful.
I don't think it's an insecurity as such. The body count can be as high as they want. I don't think it's an insecurity because you are allowed to, like I said before, like there's so much that you can tolerate and you can accept. So depending on their beliefs, and there should be a reason why as to they don't want like a body count. So if they give you a legit reason behind it, then I don't think that's an insecurity for me personally.
It's not insecurity, it's just you being aware of what you're coming into, if that makes sense. So
I don't want to bait that out. Me, I've got a thing where I'd rather have someone behave like themselves and then me tell you, okay, that's the quality I like. I don't want to give too much detail because I realize boys now they clock onto things, like they'll see a girl say, yeah, I like a guy that's funny, that's this. Next one he's learning about what jokes to pull. He'll start making you laugh and then you're thinking, okay, tick, tick, tick. But I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to put down the list of the type of qualities I want. Obviously the main ones is that he has to be religious, do you get me? And he has to be respectable, that's general. And what's it called? Yeah, just religious and respectable. But there's other things, but I don't want to bait out too much.
She needs to have a lot of money. She needs to be as rich as possible.
Family. Someone who loves family, that's a big one for me. I don't compromise on that one. Someone who has a vision for herself, like focused, like when I'm weak, she can pull me up. When she's weak, I can pull her up, if that makes sense. I don't know.
The main thing I'd be looking for is the bank account. I'm looking for a lot of zeros in that thing. I'm not too stressed about the first digit. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as there are 6 minimum zeros behind that thing.
Number 1 is probably like a man who is, I don't know, a religious man, because I feel like religion is very important in a marriage or like in a relationship, and I'm looking to marry, I'm looking to date long term, and religion is something that I feel like can bring us together, make us united as one, and I just feel like it's one of like the foundations for a good relationship. However, I'd like someone who's intelligent, that like I can have conversations with, and someone who is like emotionally supportive, because like that's like a big deal to me. You have to be emotionally supportive. I can't tell you my problems and you just be like, oh, it'll be okay, it'll fix itself. That's not on. And yeah, someone who can make me laugh, because I like to laugh. Like, I laugh at everything. So if you can't do that for me, like, what can you do if you can't make me laugh? And yeah, and them three.
And she needs to be very generous with that money. Not to everybody, but to her partner. She needs to be very generous with her partner, you know, willing to give financially, that is, financially.
I'm looking for somebody who's honest, somebody not good at communicating, somebody I can look at and I would trust to be the father of my children. What else? I don't know.
Someone who has compassion. Sense is a big one, because right now sense is very rare. You understand? That one is like, you shouldn't really be asking for sense when you're looking for a woman, but these days you need sense. Someone who's grounded, cultured. That's a big one.
Yeah, like the money has to come as well. However, I'll start with the most important. The money's on the list. Yeah, because obviously, what? That's what I want. You asked me, and I'm being honest.
Rich does not pay for honesty. Richness does not pay for someone to love you. Doesn't pay for anything.
Pays for everything else.
Nah, but like they say, money doesn't bring happiness.
But it rents it.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't think it's a priority. Obviously, if I marry someone, they'll have a good income or whatever. But it's not, I'm not looking for a rich man. Look how many people that marry rich people just because they're rich. Internally, they're sad. Because it's not fulfilling. It's like, anyone can be rich, but is everyone loyal? Is everyone honest? Is everyone caring? Do you know what I mean? It's like, being rich is like the cherry on top, but you still need the base and the cake and everything. Do you get me? Do you get that? That was a good analogy.
No, listen, let me try and explain. I'll clarify that, because probably there's been a little misunderstanding. When I say money, you're probably thinking like, I want $1 million. I mean, obviously, if I marry $1 million, I'm not going to say no to that, right? But however, when I say money, like, I want somebody who's hardworking to say, okay, like, let's say we want to invest in property or we want to do something. It's not going to be 60-40, like I'm putting in all the extra work. It's going to be like 50-50. It's going to be a partnership. We work together. But if you want to pay more, I don't mind still. You know, just saying. Don't say I didn't say so. Yeah. So, please. That's what I want. There's nothing wrong with that.
I want her to be, I think she needs to be chill. She needs to have a lot of patience, because I'm very annoying. And she needs to, I think at the end of the day, I really just would like to be appreciative. So she needs to be kind of like, you know, just sort of, she needs to be into me.
And a woman who just kind of understands a man's place in her life. Now, that doesn't mean like submissive and a man tells you to go to the shops or he tells you you belong in the kitchen. No, just a woman who knows how to make a man feel like a man so he can treat you like a woman.
Good qualities I think a girl should have. Your personality's got to be on point. I think you've got to be funny. Humor, like for me, humor's a big thing. Like if I can't vibe with you, then I don't know. We're not gonna go places, innit? Like being pretty is only good for like the initial and just for bragging rights. After that, like where are we going after this? An ambitious woman, we like that. I like a chick with ambition. Now, I'm not saying she's going to be like motivated to be like, I don't know, like a CEO of a company, but just that she's doing stuff to better herself and show progression in her life. Family orientated as well. Can't be dealing with no chick that wants to be going out to the club and turning up. Like, you do that in your younger years. I think once you get past, I say, the age of 25, you need to dead all that, man, and just focus on family and just being a better woman. So for me, I'd probably say those are the main three. I mean, freaking the sheets ain't bad either.
Absolutely. That's like a life goal. Like that's like a do or die for me. Like that's not, well, that has to happen.
Of course, marriage is important to me, and I want a stable foundation to build a family upon. Like, I know some people feel like they can have a nice family without marriage, but to me, I just need that marriage for like assurance. Like, you know how Davido said, assurance. I just need that marriage. Like, I just need it. Like, I can't be out here being a wifey material. You haven't put a ring on it. Nah.
Yeah, it is not as important as, I mean, I guess the world's just become a little crazy like recently, so it's like less sort of, I guess maybe it puts things into perspective a little more. I really I love the idea of marriage and like a wedding and stuff like that, but I mean, first and foremost, I think I'd really just prefer a partner I could spend my life with and like have that like sort of like authentic connection as opposed to like the actual, you know, wedding and marriage. But yeah, I mean, it's still important to me. I'd still like to do it if I can.
Yeah, I think it's important to me because as a Christian, it's something that even in the Bible, it tells you that, like, I wouldn't say it's an achievement, but it's something that me personally, I want, I guess.
Yes, 100,000%. I think as a Christian, it's just that covenant in it that you make between you and God, and it's just sacred and it's wonderful, and it's, I don't know, it's just so nice to know that you found that other person and you basically given a vow that, okay, this is for life now. I think that's a beautiful thing. But in terms of rushing into marriage, I got time. I got time. I'm not trying to, because when you, if you mess up and you know, this is forever and never. So yeah.
Yeah. But not all of that rubbish about where the woman will come and propose to me and she's not, I'm the one getting on my knees. All of this rubbish that you lot are doing in this 21st century, I don't know, I don't understand that one. That one is illegal.
That's an interesting question because I was talking to someone else about this not too long ago. Marriage is important for a family structure, but I don't think marriage means the same as what it meant back then. Meaning, I think now people that do get married are just doing it for the day itself as opposed to uniting with a life partner. I think they just want like the glitz and glamour, like, oh, I'm wearing this dress, or look at my ring, or look at this venue we've got for our wedding. Like, I think the whole meaning of it's been lost. So I think now, in today's society, I think people are kind of straying way more from that marriage and just looking to be more like partners. I mean, I like the concept of marriage, but I don't know if the way I see this kind of today's people are like, I don't know if I'd be getting into it with someone that didn't, how do I word this, man? Like, I have fears that I'll be marrying someone that just be wanting to get married just for the sake of getting married, not because they want to build something strong. Do you know what I mean? So I think marriage is good, but today's climate makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah, I had a conversation. I spoke to my auntie for the first time in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
And she was like, they were all just there because my mom's in Nigeria right now. She was like, so do you have a boyfriend? I was like, do you know this country? Even my mom was saying, this country, like the people, they just get together out of convenience, or like it's never real. And in my country they call it yeah people. So people that have no brain, like they're not marriage material. Do you get me? So I told them like, nah, I'm actually just focusing on myself, trying to, and I'm celibate, so it's like,
I want 6. By God's grace, any of you women out here that can give out 6 kids, yeah, let me know. You understand? But yeah, I want 6 by God's grace. If she allows me to have 6, I don't mind having 6. But I'll settle for 3. If on a bad day, 2.
Absolutely, bro. Listen, you gotta continue the legacy, man. One day, you're gonna be old. And when you're old, you're not gonna be able to take care of yourself, yeah? So you're gonna have to be able to crash at one of your kids' house. You know, they'll feed you. Bro, they have to, man. All them years, you know, you feed them for them, changing their nappies, providing. They got to do the same for you when you get to that age. Am I lying?
hey, hundreds. I want 10 kids, and I'm not capping. I want a big family. I feel like growing up, I've always had people around me, and I love that you can just have like your family there. And I want like a massive Thanksgiving, massive Christmas. Like, I want bare kids. I just want them to always have somebody there, because for me, I've got a lot of brothers and sisters, but it's like we're not all in the same unit, so it's kind of lonely. So yeah, I want bare kids.
Yes, I do want kids. Yeah, I'd love a son. I'd love 2 sons. I'd love to have 3 sons.
Absolutely, in capital letters, yes.
I do want kids. I can't wait to have children. Can't wait to bring them up and see how they turn out, and teach them morals and give them things that I didn't have when growing up. Like, yeah, I just can't wait to have children.
So that's a yes.
Definitely.
Bro, you don't want to be 80, yeah? Listen, I work in pharmacy, yeah? Do you know the amount of old people I feel so sorry for? They just come in just with their mad bags of shopping. And then you ask them like, oh, can anyone help you? It's like, oh, I don't have any kids, I don't have a wife, or my wife passed away, so it's just me. You feel bad for them, bro. But if you had like an army of kids, man, just crush one of them.
Wait, is it the wife's, no, the husband's family give the wife's okay, calm. It's nice, isn't it? I can't lie. Brideprice is sweet.
Brideprice hasn't really been communicated to us the way we see Brideprice. Brideprice is not how much their parents, the parents of your spouse or your wife or your girlfriend, their parents have put on them, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm talking sense, but basically you're not paying for your wife. What it is just value. It's just value. It's not about how much you bring to the table. It's not about any of that. It's just to show that this person is valuable. Like, because at the end of the day, you can't buy any human being, if that makes sense.
With my culture, I'm not quite sure how that goes with like bride price and things like that. So I don't know if I can pass this question because I'm not sure how that works.
But I don't know. I think it's a cultural thing that needs to ease off a bit. I think some people are too strict on the fact that the man must give something towards the wife's parents to kind of like confirm the whole marriage thing. And I think maybe if the families believe in that, then they should work on a reasonable price. Do you get? Not everyone is, balling, and not everybody is rich.
That's what I'm saying. Over generations has been messed up. That's why some families now, one family can tell you, Zim girls. Some of them, their family will ask you for 10K, bro.
Yeah, for me, I would never do that. I think that's a little bit like, always each to their own. But if your own is that, then fuck you. No, no, if you're that, I mean, it's not for me, for sure. I mean, it just seems like a dated tradition. But I mean, yeah, I guess if that's like a thing and it's important to family, I think maybe like, ideally, moving forward, I think the best way to do it would be like have it like a set low price. So you're just still doing that tradition and respecting all the people who have done that beforehand. But it's kind of, I feel like it's setting the marriage off on the wrong foot, like putting you at a financial sort of like deficit immediately. So maybe just like have it as like a small thing or even like a gift or something like that. I think that's cool. But yeah, for me, never. No, I wouldn't do that.
I think bride price is important. You understand? It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely significant.
Good on you, bro. That's sick. Give up your money, man. Hopefully I got a daughter and hopefully you're rich.
Do you mean like in terms of the wedding, like how much they contribute and that? Truthfully, just being absolutely fair, it should be 50-50. I think everyone should put, what do you mean? Why not? It's our day, is it not?
Lobola's where you pay to marry the girl.
Bro, that's just prostitution then, if you ask me, man.
I think, originally it was a sign of showing respect and appreciation to the girl's family, to say that like you've raised a wife for me. So I do believe like they should pay Lobola. However, it's quite unfortunate that like nowadays in the 21st century, people are using it like for business purposes. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with Lobola as long as there's good intentions involved. Yeah.
Why am I paying? Yeah. Why am I paying to marry you? You want my last name? Do not. You should be paying me. Yeah. Keep it real. Who wants whose last name? Who wants whose ring? Who wants whose kids? Nah. Now you've explained it. Nah. You pay me.
See with these cultural things, yeah. Oh, the girl has to be a virgin. I just.
Yeah, I mean, again, like that's dated. I think women being virgins before they're married is also kind of dated. So it's like it just like that. Like that's what I mean. Like it doesn't really work in today's society. Like maybe back in the day when there were like 3 dudes you could potentially fuck. But now it's like, come on, man. Like everyone's got access to that. Everyone's been like getting laid young. It's just like, it's not really like, it doesn't really fit in today's sort of society, I don't think.
It's hard to answer because I feel like from an African household, I don't know if they feel, I can't answer this, like.
Are you live? It's normal. Everybody is just having sex left, right. You can't really expect. If you get it, it's a bonus. But I'm sure if you have sense anyway, you will know that, okay, I can't just expect my wife to be a virgin. It's traditional. And I do feel like tradition hinders a lot of growth. So, yeah, just grow, be aware of reality today and understand that time is moving. What happened in 1996 is not happening right now. Understand? So, things are different, man.
So basically, are you saying that the bride price depends on if the girl's a virgin or not?
No.
Or is it just a tradition?
Traditionally, she should be.
She should be a virgin.
But in these days...
well, it's the 21st century. Things have changed. You can't expect everyone to be a virgin, do you know what I mean? And is the man a virgin? Is this another double standards? Like, so many questions.
I can't, because it's like, how do you know if your child is not a virgin or not as a parent? Because it says they're meant to be, but you won't know.
Obviously, in an ideal world, you'd like your wife to be a virgin before she gets to you. But yeah, these times, man, it's Sodom and Gomorrah, bro. It's just madness right now, So you're lucky if you meet a girl with only 2 bodies, in my opinion. You should count your blessings there, man. But yeah, and even if she tells you she's a virgin, I'd probably still have to give her the side eye a bit, man, because, you know, these hoes ain't loyal, man.
Mixed emotions, hey. Okay. I really think it's bollocks. I'm saying this simply because just because you're paying Lobola, you've probably slept or your body count is like 50 and above, but you're asking for a virgin just because you're paying Lobola. That's just you being a hypocrite.
Yeah, if the man pays, the woman should pay, right? I mean, there's no if anything, it would be sexist to have her not pay.
But if you're a virgin and you want to marry a virgin, then I would understand. But you can't come with those expectations to say that you have to be a virgin to get married. In my opinion, I don't really think it's fair, to be honest.
Yeah, so it's like, shouldn't the guy's parents also get paid by the woman if he's a virgin or as well, you know? Like, shouldn't it go both ways with that? Maybe. Food for thought.
Wait, chicks want dudes to be a virgin?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it's, again, cultural things that I think they just need to kind of reevaluate some things. And because I'm not saying get with the times, but like be more lenient, because it can make someone feel a bit crap because they're not a virgin, so it's like, oh, I'm not worthy to be married. Imagine telling your child that. It's not nice. But yeah, sorry, I have nothing else to say.
I feel great about this. Nah, man, again, like, it's same sort of thing. If you get a, like, how can that work though as well? Because it's like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, because if she's meant to be a virgin, obviously if she's pregnant, she's not a virgin. So it's like, and then you got to pay the extra money for damages. That's crazy. Like, wouldn't it actually, it's like, because now really you've already kind of had the product that you're buying.
This is something that I have always disagreed. Why should you pay because of the damages? But what about everybody else that's been probably been there in the past? I get it in the sense that the damages are you've gotten a child pregnant, so you need to pay. But I do disagree with that statement, unfortunately. Even though I agree that you don't necessarily have to be a virgin, I still disagree with the whole damage thing. It makes sense to me. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a good point. That's pretty crazy. It's like, shouldn't she be paying damages as well then, really? Because it's like, she's really the one then in that scenario. She's the one that's made it like not sacred or whatever. So, and why am I paying for that? You know what I mean? Maybe she needs to like chip in on that.
I've heard about this before, you know. I guess it's not wrong. Like, you kind of, it takes two to get pregnant, in it, but like, you kind of need to, you know, sort that out, man. Just, you can't leave her now because you did the thing and you got her pregnant. So I don't see an issue with that. See, with these cultural things, yeah. Oh, the girl has to be a virgin. I can't, because it's like, how do you know if your child is not a virgin or not as a parent? Because it says they're meant to be, but you won't know. Because it can make someone feel a bit crap because they're not a virgin, so it's like, oh, I'm not worthy to be married. Imagine telling your child that. It's not nice. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but it's, again, cultural things that I think they just need to kind of reevaluate some things. And because I'm not saying get with the times, but like be more lenient. I guess it's not wrong. like you kind of it takes two to get pregnant in it, but like you kind of need to, you know, sort that out now. And just you can't leave her now because you did the thing and you got her pregnant. So I don't see an issue with that.
I definitely don't think it's a damage. That's my child, or mommy. That's my baby. You understand? So I don't know. I'm not really in with the traditional stuff. I'm cultured, but I've kind of allowed myself to unlearn certain things and learn new things. You understand? From when you've already used the word damage, you've already, that child to you as, you know, you've already messed up that child. You understand? You don't put child and damage in the same sentence. But yeah, I just feel that's very negative. I would not be paying that extra bride price. It's either you want me to take your hand in marriage or not. If not, two doors.
So I quite like how this question corresponds to the previous one as to is the woman a virgin or not before getting married, and as to the man having to pay. So it just shows that there's responsibilities on both ends, and I think it's fair. Like I think it's fair that the man pays, because if the girl's family isn't happy with her getting pregnant, a man should take some responsibility, and he should own up to that and be like, yes, I'm the one who got her pregnant. Here, let me give you the bride price for it, and they can negotiate the price and move on with their lives. Like, everybody lives happily ever after. No, I said I like how they both take responsibility. Did I not say that? Yeah. I like how they both take responsibility. Well, it's the 21st century. Things have changed. You can't expect everyone to be a virgin. Do you know what I mean? And is the man a virgin? Is this another double standards? Like, so many questions. So I quite like how this question corresponds to the previous one as to is the woman a virgin or not before getting married. So if the girl's not a virgin, the bride price has been negotiated. If the boy gets her pregnant, the bride price has been negotiated. You know what I mean? I like how it corresponded. Each question corresponded to one another.
Wow.
I think the charges should be there if he's trying to leave. For sure. 100%. If he's trying to leave, yo, go ahead and charge him. Well, if he's trying to stay, it's kind of like peak. I'd charge him a bit less. But, yeah.
Bro, I'm not paying anything anyway, right? Because, like I said, why am I paying for my wife? You pay for me. But let's hypothetically answer this question. Nah, why should I? Because I'm going to be taking care of the woman and the child anyway, so what am I paying extra to the family for? So nah, I don't believe in that. Nah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't marry Zimbabwean girl.
Oh, wow.
You're so screwed.
Is it? Is it all about? Nah, forget that, man. You both from Zim? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
You're so screwed.
Bro, some of them be cute as well, man. Yeah, man. You killed it, man.
Right, next one.
Kindness, patience,
like I said, someone religious, intelligent, funny, and can be emotionally supportive. Yeah.
Family orientated, cultured, disciplined, respectful.
Chill. She gotta be chill. And I would like for her to be willing to grow with me, you know? That sort of thing. I want to sort of be able to build each other up, lift each other up. I don't know, maybe she's encouraging, but also willing to be encouraged. It's a sort of give and take.
Okay. Faithful, selfless, respectable, or respecting, one of them, whatever, and honesty. And that kind of sums up. I want to add loyalty there, but I feel like if you're loyal, you'd be all the other things. Because loyalty is kind of like a broad way of saying someone should be loyal.
Oh, she got to be hot as hell. Yeah, she's got to be. That was number 5. Yeah, looks is a very strong number 5.
This point I don't even know. Okay. Definitely, I do know he's... Okay. God-fearing is always the number 1 on the list. Second thing.
Good sense of humor, ambitious, family orientated.
So yeah, so we said what? God-fearing, hardworking. What's the third one? Somebody who's good at communicating. Because without communication, oh yeah, my friend, we're wasting time. That relationship is not going to go anywhere. And then, what is the 4th thing?
Oh, dick sucking as well. Yeah, she gotta go down. Now, yeah, see, for me, it's like, I mean, that's not even, I'm not looking for that quality in a partner because the partner already has that.
I don't know the 4th thing. Yeah, I really don't know the 4th thing.
Women don't know what they want. I'm sorry.
We know what we want. Trust me, when we see it, we do know.
We just can't see it on camera.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to be very careful because you're on camera. But if we're having a conversation right now, me and you, listen. I will tell you exactly, and I will be brutally honest. I ain't gonna filter it. I'll just tell you as it is, could you?
Don't filter it now.
I'm not filtering, but it's different. The dynamic is different.
Okay.
There's a camera involved.
Okay.
Please, nobody acts like themselves in front of the camera, even though some people do. You're different. Please, you're a different breed. You're not counting me. But yeah, everybody else is different. We buy on camera versus we buy in real life are 2 different people.
That's tough, man. I can't think of the last one. Just an all-round, just nice person. Like, I think in today's society, people, I don't know, they kind of get lost. They want to be like super hardcore, you know, super like hard, so like no one can like mess with them. But just be nice to people, yeah. And I promise that good energy comes back on you, man. You know, that's it.
A good listener as well, actually. Because men don't listen. A good listener. It's not the top quality, but it's there. When you ask me, the quality is like looking for a good listener. Because I'm tired out here. Yeah. Carry on. I'm just writing.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it? I'm not gonna do a whole theatrics. Obviously, I speak to him about it, and in a respectable way. I just be like, why did you feel the need not to tell me? Because with me, I'd like to feel like I've built an honest and comfortable zone where even if something like that goes wrong, you can tell me. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that I'm saying I will take you back, but it's just out of respect for the other person. At least tell them that as soon as you start to want to be with someone else, let them know what the issue is and stuff like that. Like, communication is so important.
Brother, I shouldn't say this on camera, man, so you might as well just switch that off, like, right now, man. But for the purpose of this video, 4 months ago, plan to meet, so, my goodness me. Obviously, I'm gonna have to confront the situation. Or maybe not. Maybe. This is hypothetically, if we live together, right? What I would do is, I'd act like everything's normal, right? You know, she goes to work, give her a kiss on the forehead, hey, have a nice day, you know. So then I ring up, who are them people? Is it U-Haul? And people, I don't think we've got that here, but like, call up U-Haul, right? I'll just gather all her stuff, yeah? Everything that belongs to her, whatever, put it all in like a box, yeah? And we'll put it in storage, right? This is while she's at work. Then, call a locksmith, yeah? Change all the locks, yeah? Change all the locks, right? And then, so obviously she ain't coming back. So then, obviously, by the time she gets back from work, she puts the key in and is like, oh, key's not working. And then, what's she gonna do? She's gonna phone me. Doo-doo-doo. Cannot be recognised, the move dial cannot be recognised, right? So then what's she gonna do? She's gonna call my mum. Meanwhile, I would have already told my mother. I said, when she phones you, just play stupid. Just act like, oh, I don't know where James is. Oh, I don't know. So at this point, she's confused. She don't understand. You know, her stuff's not here. Well, actually, she don't know that yet. But the door's locked. I can't get in. I can't get hold of James. His mum don't know where he is. So she can be all concerned. Eventually, I might come in. I was like, hey, babe, what's up? And then, that's when I hit her with the, bitch, you gone.
But I wouldn't be like, oh my God, like, why did you cheat on me? I wouldn't go and smash this guy. What do you gain? You're still single. You still cheated. Like, it just be like, you know what? You live your life and we'll part ways, innit? But I guess it's not as simple as that, because sometimes, you know, like, sometimes you just really love that person, and even when they cheat on you, you just want to stay. But then again, you have to respect yourself and understand that if it was for you, they wouldn't have done that, and they wouldn't have to be gone out of their way to secretly cheat on you. That means they therefore don't value you as a person. But yeah, man.
And well, first things first. So I've just discovered these texts. I have to confront him and be like, what do you think you're doing? Cheating on me, hear out his explanation. But at the end of the day, like, it depends on what other factors, I don't know, like, just depends on what else, like, the other factors on the relationship. Like, am I even happy with him? I'll start questioning all of that. And if the negatives outweigh the positives, I'm just going to have to leave. But I don't know. I can't imagine this scenario.
Yeah, I'm probably just addressing the situation. There's a lot of hypotheticals in that. So it's like, I don't know why she's cheating at this point. Maybe I'm cheating on her also. But I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just addressing it. First and foremost, finding out if he was better than me. No, I mean, yeah, I guess just asking the question and kind of going from there. Not freaking out about it. I'm keeping my cool is what I'm doing, and addressing it like an adult. And kicking his ass.
I literally have to, like, look at the pros and cons of this relationship. Like, is he providing me the emotional support I need? Like, is he there for me? Is he doing everything I need for him to do in this relationship? Because if he cheats, like, is it, like, why am I even with him if he's there cheating on me? Like, I'd start questioning whether he feels the same way about me or not. And if like I said, if the negatives outweigh the positives in the relationship, I think it's time to call it quits.
And if the positives outweigh
then I think it's negotiable.
Leaving you behind, your history.
It is. Like, if you have feelings for someone, you should be with them. And if they do you dirty, you can talk about it. You need to be adult about it and, like, discuss it, like, and see if you can progress from it. And if you can't progress from it, then it is what it is.
If you find out she cheated on you because he gave her a compliment when she felt down one day and sparked from there, what do you do?
Giving her a lot more compliments. I'm making sure I'm complimenting her this, and I'm trying that on anyone that's looking down. And you're walking around looking a little sad. I'm saying, you know, hey, listen, you're looking great, huh? I'm learning from that experience.
She said she's pregnant. What are you doing?
With the other guy? Oh yeah, probably bailing.
We don't promote that behavior. I would leave. Especially if you're my boyfriend, it's even worse. I'll not even blink, I would leave. I'm not thinking twice. Because I've had people who've been married, who are married, who've been in relationships or marriages for like 30, 40 years. And then they find out these things. And people are always saying to me, then you look at it from a different angle and it's different. However, when you've not really, no offense, if I've been with a guy for 2 years, I'm not going to waste my whole life simply because I've invested 2 years. It's not that deep. But if I've got kids, and my kids are probably older, if I've got kids, there's a lot to lose, there's a lot to think about. But whilst I'm still single, there's nothing to think about. Like, I'll move.
So what about all those emotions you've invested?
Emotions I've invested in a 2-year relationship.
Mm.
How many times have I invested emotions and I'm here today? I will start again.
Yeah, if it's not too deep in the thing, yeah, if she's gonna have a kid with another dude, then it's like, yeah, that's drama I don't really need, so I'll bail on that. I'll do the old John Wetzels and move over to Holland, you know?
Your partner cheats on you. You find texts ranging for 4 months ago. They plan to meet, slept together. What are you doing? Where they slept together, they will die together. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. You understand? I don't know, man. Cheating to me is just lack of self-control, greed, and lack of communication. It's a product of something. It's inexcusable. But I guess relationships are never perfect. Like I said, there's no excuse for cheating, but there's always a reason behind something. So I'll definitely want to find out why you did that first, and then we'll move on to the conversation of whether we can move past this, fix this, or whether it was just out of I don't care, if that makes sense. But I'll definitely want to understand the situation first, rather than just flip out and move on. Because if the problem is actually me, it doesn't matter who I get with. They could do the same thing, cheat. So I'd just like to check myself first and make sure it's not a problem that started with me, that they didn't handle right. But yeah. If you're a normal human being and you're sleeping with somebody, someone is inserting themselves and another person is receiving, yeah? It's giving and receiving. If you are telling me that you can't catch feelings, then I don't know what to say to you. You're not cool, you've got a problem.